Hey, playa, do you want to know what the biggest challenge is that most people run into when it comes to texting your crush? Well, I asked you guys over on Instagram to share your biggest challenges, so I'm going to go through them and share my answers right after this.
This is the Just Beats, you're watching the Just Beef.
Let's head over to Instagram and see what you guys had to say. Not knowing how to flirt and how to go from texting to talking in real life. This could be a major challenge because sometimes you get caught up in the texting world where it's easy to text your crush. You could say whatever you want, but that transition to talking in person is difficult because there's always that awkwardness in person where you see them face to face and you don't know what to talk about. So how do you make that transition? I think the best way is to kind of start a conversation through text. Say, hey, listen, I want to tell you about this really cool movie that I saw. What are you doing next week? Let's meet up to talk about it. Then once you've kind of set it up in texting, you can talk to them about the thing you mentioned in the text in person. It makes it easier because you're starting that conversation in person with an actual conversation in mind. When her parents monitor her every second and think I'm not letting her focus on her school. Yeah, this can be a real problem because sometimes parents see a person always on their phone and always talking to someone and they think, wow, they're not focusing on schoolwork, they're not getting their homework done, they're not putting the things that are important first. So what do you do in that situation? I think it's important for you to talk to that girl to let her know, hey, let your parents know that between this hour and this hour, you're going to be talking to friends, but then you're also going to make time to do homework. If that person can set a schedule and let their parents know what it is, their parents will be a little bit more lenient and understanding when they're taking time to talk to you. I haven't even got past asking for their number. Yeah, this could be a real problem sometimes because if you're not even at the stage where you have their number, you can't text them. So let's tackle this one by one. When it comes to asking for the number, the best way to go about it is to kind of set up plans or set up something to do that getting their number is going to help you get there. So you might want to say, hey, this new movie came out and I really want to go check it out. We should go watch it together. Let me get your number so I can text you sometime so we can set plans to go watch it. That way you now have the number, you can now text them, and you can start that conversation. You can get to texting with your crush just by first getting over the first step, which is getting the number in the first place. The fear that she won't respond. I've been messaging my crush and she's leaving me on read. This is a common issue that happens sometimes. You message someone, they don't respond, you start to feel anxious. So what do? Well, I did a video on this all about ghosting earlier in the week, so you may want to check that out. But if the person's not responding to your messages, the best thing to do is to try to talk to them in person. Even if you can have a conversation that's just a few minutes, that's going to make you stay out in the back of their minds when you do text them later. They're going to tell themselves, wow, this person was fun to talk to in person. Let me actually take the time to respond to them. And if they don't respond, watch the video I mentioned to learn how to handle that. To reconnect with them after not talking to them for a while. This is something that happens a lot. Things are going good in the beginning, but then they start to slow down, and then eventually neither one of you are responding to the other person. So what do? How do you pick it back up? Well, the best way to go about doing that is to talk about something that you talked about in the past. Let them know that they popped back into your mind and something happened that made you think of them. Bringing that up and starting that conversation from there is going to make them feel nostalgic for the old conversations you had, and then from there you can always follow up with, so it's been a while since we talked. What have you been up to since then? Being open with your feelings because you don't know how much energy you'll get back. Yeah, this is a scary thing to think about. The idea of opening up to your crush, being honest about how you feel only to get stonewalled by them, for them to not respond, or for them to tell you that they only see you as a friend. That's the worst possible thing, I know. But I think a better approach, instead of telling your crush how you feel through text, is instead to work on building a deeper connection with them. Get to know them better, make jokes, have fun, hang out in person. The more time you spend with them, the easier it'll be for your feelings to be put on display and their feelings as well. So when it finally comes time for you to tell them that you like them, it's not going to come out of nowhere. It's not going to be a random text message. It's only going to be after you've built so much more with them. I don't know how to keep a conversation going without it being awkward. This is a challenge a lot of people run into. They talk about one or two things and then it kind of just flatlines from there because they aren't going deeper into the conversation topics. What I want you to do is to check out my 20 icebreaker conversation starters guide. I'm going to link it up over here, and those are 20 different conversation topics you can bring into play. As you talk to that person, don't just launch questions at them, go deeper into it, learn more about them, learn about who they are as a person. The more you're able to do that, the less awkward it's going to be because you feel like they're just being open with you and you can just be open with them. Interpreting their responses, like what emotions there are behind some messages. Yeah, sometimes reading people's messages and what they mean is difficult. That's the problem with texting from time to time. People may be sarcastic, they may be trying to be funny, they may be serious, and you may not always be able to read that through the message. So I think a lot of times when you do run into situations where you are confused by what they said, it's better off to kind of continue the conversation how you think they may be talking, and then to kind of redirect based on that. So for example, if they're being sarcastic and you think they're being sarcastic, you're not really sure, try to respond back with something sarcastic and see how the conversation flows from there. You'll never really know unless you directly ask them, but sometimes asking them can be weird. So I think try to just go along with it like it's normal, like you know what's going on, and then redirect based on that. Now, if you aren't following me on Instagram, make sure to go do that because I post questions like this from time to time, and I want to start sharing your guys' answers and getting your feedback and putting it into video form like this. So what I want you to do next is check out the video over there on the side to learn a little bit more on how to deal with those awkward situations in texting your crush. I think that video is going to be super helpful for you, and the playlist underneath it has all my videos on texting. If you want to be a texting pro, watch those videos. On that note, guys, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.